Well, I'm doing this at halftime, so you know it's going to be good. Quickly, I did make a prediction for this week, and I had the Bears losing 34-17 in pretty embarrassing fashion. It's currently 35-3, and it's halftime, so I'm enjoying life a lot right now. Okay. So, first of all, Justin Fields is getting a lot of crap right now, and I think he kind of deserves it. He's not playing very well, but we need to also talk about how terrible everyone else is. Like, if we're going to call out Fields for being terrible, rightfully so. Like, I don't think he's played well at all. I don't think he's lived up to at least half of the hype that we've given him. He's had one semi-decent game against the Lions. Well, he had one really good game against the Lions, and he's played below average in every other game. I think it's time we start giving some blame to him because he has to start playing better. I do think he should keep playing. I know there's some Bears fans who are already saying to bench him, but that would just kill his confidence and make the Bears look like even more of a clown show. Stick him out. Get him the experience he needs, because when he comes out, hopefully with a better coach and a better set of offensive weapons next year, he's going to look a lot better. This is valuable. As much as it sucks to watch, he's either going to not learn from this and be bad for the rest of his career, which, knowing Justin Fields, I don't think that's the type of player he is, or he's going to learn from it and get better, which he has consistently done. Every game before this, he had gotten better. The jump from Cleveland to Detroit, much better. The jump from Detroit to Vegas, he played very good in that Vegas game, even though he only threw like 19 passes and only had 120 yards passing. And then in Green Bay, he did a very good job processing the field. I think he played very efficiently in the Green Bay game, even with a few stupid mistakes, which you expect Fields to be bad, which is why everyone else who was good last year, Allen Robinson, Darnell Mooney, Cody Whitehair, Sam Mustipher, that's why that is so frustrating. Is these are the guys that when you throw in Justin Fields, you expect them to play good, and they're just not. Allen Robinson, the one time a prayer of a ball after Fields got away from a sack goes right where he would have been on a jump ball, which is exactly where he wants it. He falls down. He consistently gives no effort on plays, and clearly if we trade him, I actually want us to trade him at the trade deadline, but knowing Ryan Pace, this is going to be the week he extends him because he's starting to play bad. Darnell Mooney has been the best receiver, but that's not saying much. I still love Darnell Mooney. I think he's the future at the receiver position for us, but he's not played well. He dropped 2 passes. Cole Kmet, who I don't think dropped a pass last year, has dropped 2 in this game. One that was on a huge 3rd and 9 when Fields put it on a rope under pressure into his arms. The only position group on this team that is good is the running backs. Khalil Herbert is exceptional. David Montgomery's arguably top 10 7 running back. It's just Damian Williams is good. Tariq Cohen is going to come back, and I bet you he's going to be pretty good. The offensive line is bad, yeah, but next year you're at least going to have Cody Whitehair, who I think is our best offensive lineman. You're at least going to have Tevin Jenkins and Larry Borum, who are both going to be first-year starting offensive linemen, and that doesn't give me extreme amounts of confidence either, even though I think Borum showed very good promise when he played early on in the season. Defensively, whatever, the Patriots have had their ball on their side of the field 4 times in the first half. Brady's literally had to do nothing. He's made one impressive throw, and he hasn't really played well. The Bears could have had 2 interceptions in the first half. Jackson dropped 1, and Vildor or Shelley dropped the other. So I don't blame this on the defense. If I was the defense and they gave up 21 points in the first 5 minutes based off of stupid turnovers and bad play calling, I would have checked out too, so I don't really blame them. They haven't played well, but I really don't care. It's the offense is the problem on this team. And you really have to understand how bad Matt Nagy is. And I hope that I can do some sort of film breakdown or something this week, because we're down 35-3 or 28-3. We get the ball after halftime, and if we can go down the field and score and then come out of halftime and score, it's 28-17 and the game looks a lot better. This is potentially a 14-point swing type of moment. Matt Nagy on 4th and 4, rookie quarterback who they've been blitzing every single play. They have 6 men lined up on the line of scrimmage. They look like they're going to blitz. He calls 4 developing routes. He calls Mooney on a deep out. He has Robinson running it up and in and out. And then he has Bird and Goodwin running an in-out, not a mesh, because they're on the same side of the field. But how is Fields supposed to scan the field in that amount of time? There are 6 men blitzing him, and your offensive line is terrible. That is Matt Nagy. That is Matt Nagy doing that play call, and that's not him play calling. Bill Lazor's play calling, and Bill Lazor's bad. But the fact that Bill Lazor is still better than Matt Nagy is embarrassing. The fact that he's been blitzed on every single play, and it took them being down 21-0 for Matt Nagy to finally roll Justin Fields out of the pocket and give him an easy completion is embarrassing. I get that you want to open up this playbook for the kid and throw him out to the Wolves, but all you're doing is making him look bad. That's all you're doing. And the receivers are bad, the tight ends are bad, the offensive line is bad. So I'm not saying run the ball every single play. I'm saying do stuff that's easy. Why is it when Andy Dalton is the quarterback against a top 5 defense, you run a bunch of the easy routes and Andy Dalton looks serviceable, but Justin Fields gets in there against this defense doesn't have 3 of its starting corners. Do something. Same with Green Bay last week. They didn't have 3 of their starting corners. Just do something that gets the receivers one-on-one against the corners, but they're incompetent. They're incapable. Don't even get me started on Ryan Pace. How is $7 million and then $8 million next year looking for Jimmy Graham, Ryan? Cole Kmet looks terrible. Jesse James and Horsted look better than Cole Kmet this season. The offensive line is a joke. The fact that you let go of guys and then didn't do anything to replace them besides draft 2 rookies who one of them you knew about their injury and you still drafted him, that's concerning. Receivers, yeah, I thought he actually did a good job at addressing receivers before, but clearly he didn't do a good enough talent evaluation because none of them can get open. And defensively, I don't think Eddie Jackson deserves to be paid that much money, but I don't think he's the worst safety in the league. I think Deshaun Gibson being re-signed was far worse because DeAndre Houston, Carson, and Deion Bush have been far better. Re-signing Danny Trevathan over Nate Kwiatkowski will always get me angry because Trevathan's done nothing while Kwiatkowski's been beyond serviceable in Vegas. And I get a lot of people are mad that Kyle Fuller hasn't been re-signed or didn't get re-signed, but I think that's been a good decision so far. But I mean, there's so much wrong with this team on not just a roster level, on a coaching level and on a management level that it gives me zero confidence for the future moving forward. Now, I don't think Ryan Pace is the worst GM in the league. I think he's far from it, but I think that he doesn't even have full control over his decisions at half the time. I think Nagy has partial control. I think Ted Phillips has partial control, Ted Phillips is a idiot. And then I think George McCaskey also has partial control, so I can't even have faith in the decisions Ryan Pace is making. I think Ryan Pace is an average GM. I think Matt Nagy's the worst head coach in the league. I think we have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. Actually, you know what? I don't think we have one of the worst offensive lines in the league. I think we have one of the worst coached offensive lines in the league because Jason Peters and Cody Whitehair and James Daniels have all played pretty well this season. Sam Mustipher has been the worst center in football, and our right tackle has been a revolving door. And even then, Ifedi is bad, but he's not as bad as what we're seeing on the field right now. Our running backs are good. On paper, our tight ends and our receivers should be good. It's just frustrating to see how this roster has been assembled, how they're coached, and I think the only coach on the roster that I like is Sean Desai and Mike Pettin, ironically enough. So, yeah, that's how I'm feeling about this game. This is one of those you lose this game so humiliatingly that you want to blow everything up type of games. And we're sitting here, I think the third quarters, we're like 5 minutes into the third quarter. I'm just waiting to get a notification on my phone that Fields got hurt after getting sacked and that Andy Dalton's coming in. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll try to get a Nagy film breakdown out this week. I'll try to get the weekly predictions, and I won't miss on another Bears prediction video. I had the video done. I recorded the video. I just didn't have time to edit and upload it. So if you watched that video at that point, you would laugh because of how wrong I was. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm going to catch you guys all later. Thank you, and peace out.